fan evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
46.
Prescott from the gun. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First carry for Darius Geis. Finds an opening past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the handoff, it's Geis. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. On first down, this is Geis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Following the penalty, it's Geis, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet, but not a whole lot of space down at the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
They'll look to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
26.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
To throw is Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll run it now out of the gun. In trouble, and the ball's hit. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. The give is to Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a gain there of 11 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Sean Dion Hamilton was there to bring him down defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrive at this 2-0 score. See if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it? See those 2 points go up on the board knowing
like soccer.
Exactly. And knowing that you did it to give those points up for your team. Now they're just looking to get back out on the field and make up for it.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They give them a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
10 more there and another 1st down. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Gone! Detroit! Detroit!
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back to throw here. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. 3rd down, here's Geis. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Kick is good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board. In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. It gets it over the middle of Cobb. Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This a 33-yard attempt. And his kick is good. So we have the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Where we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And now running right through it. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him and spit. Oh, Prescott stripped. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
46. 47. 46. 46. 46.
Prescott now on second down. And this is incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Prescott, and that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tyrone Crawford able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now back to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And Hopkins' kick is good. Back now at FedEx Field, and we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And with flags down, he's up near the 40, but it looks like this one might be coming back. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Prescott now. Oh, Prescott stripped into the Redskins. Have it they do. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, if they're out there, we'll see if they can pick those things back up. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On second down, Prescott again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and it's third down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Oh, Prescott stripped. And they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that. And when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nifty move. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, here's White. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Gun. Hey, switch.
Here's Prescott. Oh, he's looking long for Witten. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. They'll hand it down to Geis, and they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Don't get nervous.
Here's Geis. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Geis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Check 43. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Now a run with Geis. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Free bud.
On the ground, it's Geis. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
Somebody call for the queen.